Before we dive into today's episode, I want to share something personal with you because if you're anything like me, you might be carrying more than you let on. Not long ago, I found myself in a season where I felt overwhelmed, discouraged, and honestly stuck. I was doing everything I could to hold it all together as a mom, a wife, and a woman with big dreams, and still felt like I was falling short. And then one day I made a decision. I booked a consultation call with a coach. I had no idea at the time how much that one call would change everything. It gave me clarity, permission, hope, and a path forward. It helped me rise when I felt like I was drowning, and it showed me that I didn't have to face my hard seasons alone. That experience is the reason I do what I do today. I don't want any mom to stay stuck in the cycle of self doubt, overwhelm, and quiet suffering. You deserve tools, support, clarity, and someone in your corner who truly sees you and all that is possible for you. So if you're feeling the pull, like something needs to change, like you're ready to rise, like you're done doing this alone, I want to invite you to take your own first step. Book a free Limitless Mom strategy call with me. Let's talk about where you are, where you want to go, and the version of yourself you're ready to step into. One call changed everything for me, and it might just be the moment that changes the course of your life too. If you're ready, the link is in the show notes. Let's do this together. Welcome to Radiant Mom Rising. Get ready to be inspired, empowered, and uplifted. I'm your host, Mary Dibble, and in each episode, we dive into amazing stories, insights, and conversations that help moms like you chase your dreams and embrace your worth. Let's rise and shine together. Hey, beautiful mamas. Welcome back to Radiant Mom Rising. Today's episode is one of the most powerful conversations I've ever had on the show, one that will expand your heart, shift your perspective, and remind you of the strength that already lives within you. I'm sitting down with the incredible leaders of the Emergency Leadership Institute, Craig Meek and Diana Jordan, whose mission is to empower you to handle emergencies with confidence, clarity, and calm. And Diana, her story is extraordinary. She survived a violent attack that resulted in the loss of her left leg, but her story didn't stop there. It began there. Her resilience, her mindset, her fight, and her transformation will leave you breathless. If you've ever wondered what it means to rise after the unimaginable, this episode will show you. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Deanna and Craig. I'm just so excited to talk about what you do. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So how about we get started? I would love for you to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, I'll start off. I'm Craig Meek. I'm the president of the Emergency Leadership Institute, or ELI, and we're blessed to have Diana with us, our vice president, who's the heart and soul of our company. So I'm an emergency medicine doctor for 26 years, but also done a lot of executive coaching and business, kind of upper level management stuff, and taught a little bit of that. And really just I want to kind of talk a little bit about Diana's story, let her introduce herself too. But the Eli is basically an institution we made to try to empower people to not have to go to the emergency room, to not have to seek health care, to try to teach very intelligent people that we think are out there how to handle their own emergencies. So we give them medicines. If you have a strep throat, you have a strep throat. Why don't we just give you the antibiotics and let you take them? We have a lot of different avenues to do that. And Diana's part of that. And Diana has an amazing story that I want you to hear about, but I'll let her introduce herself right now.
Hey guys, thank you for that introduction, Craig. My name is Diana Jordan, and I am in the healthcare also. I have been a nurse several years, worked in the ER. That's kind of my background, but have diversified and done a lot of different things. I did inpatient psych, have done hospice care, family practice, and doing some telemedicine visits now. So with my story, I went through a traumatic event about 7 years ago, almost 8 now. So, I will now turn the microphone back over to Craig. I'm going to let him kind of tell a little bit about my story And then I'll kind of fill in some of the pieces from there.
So the reason Diana does that is she's incredibly humble and she also is matter of fact about what she's been through. And so it's an amazing story. Diana, I knew her years ago as an ER doc and she was a nurse and we worked a few shifts together in East Texas. So everybody kind of knew each other in that small town of Longview, Texas. And Diana was getting a divorce from her husband who was super, super controlling and it was time to leave and she kind of left her husband, but he was tracking her and had a tracker in her car and just didn't want her to leave and kind of lost it, to be honest. And in a really nice strip mall, like the nicest strip mall we have in that small city, attacked her in broad daylight in front of a bunch of people and beat her head into a steering wheel. And she had 3 brain bleeds. And then he pulled out a gun and fired off some rounds to make everybody get down. And then he shot her and he shot her through her left femoral artery and her left hip and right in her femur, which is the hip bone right there. He shot her and she was bleeding to death. And then he shot himself in the chest, fell on her, and his arm compressed her femoral artery to keep her alive while the EMS crew got there. When they got there, she had no pulse. She ended up going through a long hospitalization. She died 5 times in the hospital. She had a tracheostomy. She had dialysis catheters. She had chest tubes. She had a feeding tube. She had a colostomy for a while. She lost her leg, entire left leg, and weighed 73 pounds or something like that when she left. Just a story that could be a tragedy, but if when you know Diana, she's got a smile on her face. She's never a victim. She's always let's go to work. Let's see what we can do, and go now to let's just fast forward to her just having incredible amount of just drive and compassion and positive attitude. And now last month she competed in the adaptive CrossFit games and was number 5 in the world. And she's a massive CrossFit athlete. She does things like she walks on her hands, she does these pull-ups where she jumps over the bar, she throws weights around. She's amazing. She's also been to a bodybuilding competition without a leg. She's swam in a pool, she's hiked, she's climbed, she snow skied. So it's a story of I don't, she kind of plays it down, but it's a story of unbelievable determination and willpower and strength of character. And, that's Diana. So I'm going to throw it back to her now that she'll kind of downplay it, but that's who she is.
Oh my goodness.
Always has a smile on her face,
Yeah.
never negative, always just smiling. I mean, I see people walk up to her. She's the
Yeah.
heart and soul of our company, but I see people walk up to her in a store and just go, "You're amazing."
Yeah.
You're amazing because she has muscles ripped out of her arms and just like,
Ah,
she looks like a Terminator when she walks on her prosthetic leg. But
I love
so just an
it.
amazing light to the world. So Diana, why don't you throw a little bit on that? Because I kind of went on too long, I think. But
No.
No, that's good.
Oh,
So it's like Craig said, it's an incredible and an amazing story. And to downplay it, to me, well, number one, it's all God. I give all of the
yeah.
glory and honor and praise and everything to Him. He is the one that brought me through. He is the one that provided this path, because I do believe that He does not give us anything that we cannot absolutely handle. Do we like it? Do we want to do it? Absolutely not. But that's life as well, right? Like, we all face insurmountable challenges and just horrible things in life. But to me, to simplify everything, it is a choice. We have the choice in our own power to do the things that need to be done. Again, is it fun? Do we want to do it? But it has to be done. So we get up every day and we do it, period. So all of the self-help books and things and, models, it's simple. You
Yeah.
just get up and you do the things that you don't want to do. And then eventually you're going to spin out of that difficult rut and things are going to get a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get a little bit harder. And then they're going to get a little bit easier, you know. So it's
Absolutely.
just you have to embrace the difficulties of life. We know they're coming, and they're going to happen to us all, right? I mean,
Yeah.
none of us get out of this world having an easy breezy life where everything was just provided and a golden path. That's saved for our afterlife and when things are good. But I just it's that simple.
Yeah.
We choose to either get up and do it, or we choose to be sad about it and
Yeah.
wrestle with the difficulties and let it kind of overtake us. So,
I just have to say I'm like shaking hearing your story and just the resilience that you had, and I love that. Your message is so powerful because that is something I love sharing on here. It is a choice. We get to decide who we want to be, where we want to
that's
go.
right.
Our past doesn't define us, and your
No.
story is just evidence, even like extreme evidence of what is possible when you put your mind to it, when you put in the work. And I mean, this is something I see with so many people is that they they fear that. Like they don't want to put in that effort because they feel like it's a waste of their time. And I feel like they don't
Mm.
understand. It's just your subconscious mind like fighting you because it wants you to stay small and safe. And, it thinks it's protecting you, but it's just keeping you from what is meant for you. And this is where, hearing these stories and seeing what's possible will show you that, and, when in comparison, even like, who are we to sit there and act like we can't follow through on our business goals or follow through
Mm.
with our kids because they're just like there's people who go through things like you that just is like, I mean, you shouldn't even be here according to that story, and you are, and look at you. I would never have thought you've been through what you have, and I think that's so beautiful that you're out here sharing this. And I assume that's what led you guys to meet and to create what you have created. And tell me a little bit more about that as well, like that journey and what made you decide to do this as far as helping people to not even have to go to the emergency room? Like what led to that?
So, Craig,
You
I'm
know,
going to let you tell that story.
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's that's
Oh,
fine, but not that I'm gonna, no story, every story after you hear Diana's story is gonna be a little bit smaller, you know. So, but yeah, just because it's so amazing. But so I've worked in healthcare for years, but I started out, I'll just tell a quick story that's just kind of, I was 17 years old. I was throwing the football in my front yard with my best friend, Tony. And a lady drove a car like 50 miles an hour into a telephone pole that was about 10 feet from me. And the car went up and smoke and this telephone pole cracked and the electrical wires were coming down. And she's didn't have a safety belt on, and her face starts swelling and blood coming out of her nose, probably broke her neck. I don't even know. And I run over there and he calls 911 or whatever. And I just watched her slowly die, in front of me. Like, I mean, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to pull her out or how to pull her out, tried to kind of hold her head, didn't know what was going on. And so I think that moment in time, we hit sometimes those moments in time, whether it's it just defines kind of what we do for the rest of our life. And I ended up becoming an emergency medicine physician because I don't want to know not what to do. It's like time, like, okay, when
yeah.
something happens, and then going through our careers, me and Diana, and what we put together, we realized there's so much people can do on their own that they don't have to spend 3 hours in a waiting room, and they don't have to spend the money and the time and miss work and stuff like that. And I think and I would say as healthcare, get so caught up in medical legal risk, and we get caught up in like, oh no, they're not trying, we find we're trying to brave a new world here. It's like, listen, let's give them the tools, let's give them the knowledge. We have a boot camp where you come for 2.5 days, and we put you in every possible emergency situation, and we give you an algorithm all the way from active shooter when you're in
Yeah.
a concert to, when there's an active shooter, what do you do? How do you respond to that? To floods, to, car wrecks, to somebody's
Falls,
choking in front of you,
fractures.
falls, fractures. We teach you how to put in dislocations. If you're in Colorado and your kid dislocates their shoulder, we teach you how to put it in. It might be, 3.5, 4 hours to hike back to get where you need to get. We give you a little go bag with emergency medicines for allergic reactions. So somebody, has that. So the whole idea is, let's give people the knowledge, let's give people the tools, let's give people the medicines, and let's give them the algorithms. Let's practice with them. So let's take them to the boot camp. We could do an all-female boot camp. I think it'd be awesome. We could put it together
Yeah.
and basically just kind of let them handle their emergencies on their own and give them confidence. So our tagline is become fearless. Let's
Love
stop having fear
that. Yes.
of these situations when your grandmother has a heart attack or somebody or kid is choking in front of you,
Oh my
so
God.
that's the idea of Eli. That's the plan. Nobody's done it before. We're very, we can't market
Cutting
it because
edge.
nobody knows what it is. So that, we have, you can hit our website and see about it. But and me and Diana we're working tirelessly on this, and I think it's really something special. So, and then we
Abs-
have this
Absolutely.
person, Diana, who's the inspiration of everywhere she goes. She's the most inspirational person I've ever met in my life,
Oh
or I've ever
yeah.
seen in my life.
Mm,
And she walks around like she's
yeah.
just muscular and beautiful, and she got this Terminator leg on, and she's just rolling around. And you just
Yeah.
kind of you go to this course and you meet her, and you're like, oh my gosh, I think we can handle this.
Yeah,
Look at
I think
her.
I can do it.
I think I
Yes.
can. Look what she's doing. And so that's kind of the idea, Eli. But
I love
is
it.
that kind of more? I
Yes.
mean, I talk too
No.
much sometimes, but
I know, I love it. And honestly, it's such a blessing to see how you've used your story, your hurt, your pain, and also just the growth that you've come from it to help inspire and show people like what is possible. I mean, that's so powerful. And honestly, what you guys are creating here is amazing. I mean, you know how many lives can be saved from just knowing these
absolutely,
things? I mean, you mentioned choking, and I that's one of my things. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would be terrified right now if one of my kids were to choke on something. So I mean, I think that's such a powerful tool to just give people that confidence and that just that knowledge of like what can you do in these situations. If
yeah,
if you meet someone who is like bleeding out, like how can you get that tourniquet on that can
right,
save their life? So I think it's amazing that you're doing this. And yes, please do market it. Because I think the more people hear about this, as far
yeah,
as like finding solutions that prevent you from especially having to go to emergency rooms. I know someone who died because they were left waiting for three
hmm
hours in a waiting room because
right,
they thought that she just had some stomach ache and she had an aneurysm. So it's like
right,
they could have saved her, but because, it's just there's just endless amounts of situations. And I know some things are unpreventable. Like I get that, but if people have just basic real knowledge about how to handle an active shooter or how to handle certain situations with an accident even, like that is I mean amazing you guys that you're creating this. And I'm so honored to have you on here sharing about this
no,
with moms. I
hey,
really am.
Mary, let's talk about choking for a second because I think that's great that you brought that up. So there's people who will talk to you about like, okay, this is how you do a Heimlich maneuver. Here's how you put your hands around, you do the choking, and they'll talk you. But what we do is we go the extra step. We have choking Charlie this, and you do the Heimlich like 16 times when you go through the course. So it's not like it's a difference between learning a skill, knowing a skill, and then actually practicing a skill in an emergency situation that gives you that extra confidence. You can learn how to throw a football, you can practice throwing the football, but then you play football in a game and those
Yeah.
guys throw the football, it's a whole different deal. So what we did is we built a hospital out on this land of this boot camp of like a fake hospital. And we have patients, you go in there and you practice these skills on these patients, it's like you're the doctor doing the choking thing and stuff. And I think it's something that one little thing of choking, you just mentioned something. How many lives could we save? It was just that, just okay, let's just take choking.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of people say, oh, this is legally risky, Craig. You and Diana are doing something that, you guys can't, you're going to be teaching medical skills to people and the lawyers are going to come out and you're going to get sued. I'm like, but what if we save, 3 lives this year? You know what I mean? Is that worth it? Like, I'll take the lawsuit. If we could save 3 lives, 4 lives, if we can, a kid who's having an allergic reaction in Colorado when he gets stung by a bee, and
Yeah.
we give him medicines and he's got the family has all the medicines there to treat him, and they save that. If we save that one kid's life, it's all worth it, right? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, so that's kind of the idea, so
And it is, they're just, emergency situations are unplanned and
mhm.
unscheduled,
Yes.
and anything like you said, Mary. I mean, there are numerous things that can happen at any time, and if you are somewhat prepared, early
Yes.
intervention is the key for most of those things. And if you have that knowledge and that equipment that's needed, and we have a go bag, with all of it in there, I mean, it's
Yeah.
huge, and it is life changing and life saving.
Absolutely. And so, okay, I thought I heard earlier, are you guys based in Texas?
We are.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, in
awesome.
the
Okay.
Dallas area, North Dallas area. Yeah.
Ooh, nice, nice. I lived in Killeen, Texas when I was a little girl for a little bit. So I I love Texas. Me
Okay.
and my husband have talked about maybe moving there someday again. But I that's
Yeah.
okay. So now what about like for people like are you guys working on anything outside of that as far as like courses, virtual ways for people to connect with you and at least just learn if they are unable to see you in person? Is that part of like what you're developing here, or is it just right now this on-person site place for you to come for this boot camp?
So we have actually a lot of little facets of our company. And so the first, we talked a little about the course where that's kind of the ultimate. It's, you're going to go, you're going to learn, all that kind of stuff. But we also have a thing called MyDoc, which is we have healthcare professionals like me and Diana are both healthcare professionals, and you can sign up for MyDoc, and with a small subscription monthly rate, you can text a doctor pretty much 24/7 if you need medicines, if you need help, if you have a question or whatever, so that's an opportunity for people. It's kind of concierge medicine and that hopefully will, if you have questions or you're there, or, you need medicines or something like that, we can take care of you. And then we've talked about the go bags. You can actually buy a go bag. I'll show you a go bag right here. So this is a little go bag, kind of fits in your,
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
kind of so like that. You can buy a go bag from us, and then we have a small course, like an online course, where you kind of learn how to use the medicines, what not to do, what to do, tourniquets, stuff like that. It's just a little video course, so you could do that from
Yes.
anywhere on the
Yes.
planet. Buy your go bag, stuff like that, and that's kind of the way to get, I think, to put your toe in the water
Hmm.
is if you wanted to kind of look into it, you kind of say, hey, I think I'll maybe just get this go back, see what it's like, take that course. And that might make you say, hey, I kind of want more. Maybe I
Yeah.
want to go to the course. Maybe I want
Yeah.
to take some friends and go do this thing in Dallas. Or
Yeah.
maybe I want to sign up for my doc. So there's other little aspects. We also have some executive coaching. Me and Diana are both executive coaches. So some people look at Diana and they're inspired and they're like, Diana, help me live. I'm not only like tell me figure out my life and strategy
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we also have that aspect of our company. So it's
Yes,
multifaceted.
I love it, and that's so important. As a life coach myself, like for me, that's what changed
Okay.
my life tremendously was life
Yeah.
coaching because it just really, like I said, it's one thing to work on like your past, but to really have someone see what is possible for you and
Yeah.
help you to believe that and see that for yourself is so powerful, especially when it comes to following through. Because let's be real, how easy is it to make these goals and say we're going to do
Hmm.
this or we're going to work out or we're going to be healthier, but then actually following through with that, that's a whole nother ball game. And like you say, it takes that courage and that determination, but it also takes support. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, and I think that's only going to amplify you sooner and fully than if you just try to do it yourself. So I think it's beautiful that you guys have so much to offer here. And I'm so excited for you because you're just getting started. Like there's so much that's
Hmm.
going to come from this that's going to really change things. So God has obviously utilized you in so many ways. And I hope one day you even write a book. I don't have you written a book? I
Not
feel like
yet,
you need to
but
write it. Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Everybody,
Everyone
everybody
probably
says,
tells you
yeah.
that. Yes, yes. But you really, I mean, it's
Everybody says,
so
Diana,
powerful.
you got to put a movie or a book or something out. But the funny thing
It's a,
about Diana is
it's,
she
it's,
doesn't see herself as she just sees herself as just doing what you should do. I mean,
yeah,
it's just a matter of fact, she smiles around like this is what you
I
do.
know.
Like, you
Yeah.
lose a leg, you just kind of walk on and keep going, and
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 really,
everybody else
Craig,
like, no, this is incredible.
yeah, my whole life has been difficult. I mean, I've
Yes.
from a child,
Yeah.
my father was an alcoholic, and we, when we graduated, we had to leave home. We didn't get a college package. We didn't get money. We didn't like my whole life, I have had to work and, achieve the things that I have. So this
Ah,
is just another thing,
when
so
she when she graduated from
sure.
high school, Mary, her dad said you got the weekend to get out of the house. That was so you're 17, 18, it was like live your life, you know?
Hmm.
And I think that that
Figure it
prepared
out.
her.
Yeah.
Sink
Yeah,
or
and
swim.
that prepared, and she's got this
Yes.
attitude like, man, you just make it happen, you know? It's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, I'm so seriously, and that's something. It's funny, like looking back, because I we got evicted when I was like almost 16, so I had been out on my own,
Oh,
homeless, like at a very young age, not
wow.
expecting it. So it wasn't it wasn't really my mom's fault. She did the best she could, but she
Yep.
couldn't keep me, so I had to kind of go
Yeah.
out there. And at the time, I was doing drugs too, so of course I fell into even worse crowds because of that. But it's like looking back though, it's like I see
Yeah.
how all of that has molded me to be who I am today and to be able to help those that I am to help. So just like with your
Yeah.
story, it's like it sucks to go through.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
so hard, but goodness, like just to turn your life around the way you have, it is incredible. And it's nothing to be shy away from and to share, because you don't know the lives you'll impact by just your story. Like that's
Yeah.
so why
Hmm.
that's what's so beautiful about all the uniqueness of what we all go through. And your story especially is, I mean, up there, and something that could truly change lives and help people to really realize, hey, you know what? If she can do it, so can I.
Hmm.
I can do anything. I can get through this. I
Hmm.
can get past that bad relationship. I can create my life the way I want to. I don't have to be defeated by something that happened to me as a child or even just in my past. I don't have to let them win, because that breaks my
Hmm.
heart, is
That's
to
right.
see that victim mentality of like, woe is me, and that I'm not capable, and it's like, no, you're just letting them win. Like, no,
Yes.
don't do that. You got to go show them who you really are, because she's already there. He's already there. And you're just working to
Hmm.
unleash them and show up for what is already there for you. That's the thing. It's like you say, the simple things that people make so difficult. It's what we're working on with this messaging and with sharing, to help people in so many ways to see, like, no, you get to decide and make your life what you want it. And I'm just very honored right now to be in your presence and to be Craig.
Oh,
What you're creating here is absolutely beautiful, and I'm just so excited to be able to share your story. Seriously, this is really
Well,
awesome.
thank you for this format for that story. You know, I mean, that's
Yeah.
just, I mean, it's part of you, what you're doing. And I just listened to you talk about your trials that you went through, and I just like, man, I would love to see you and Diana just having lunch one day and just listen to you guys, because I bet you guys would just be, oh yeah, 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 just like you guys
Yes.
are
and
two
we went
peas in
through
a
this, and
pod.
we went
I
through that,
Yeah,
and
know.
yeah,
we went
yeah,
through this,
yeah.
and we went through
But you
this.
guys are doing so well, you know, and it's just
Yeah.
there's so many people. I think you said it, Mary. You just said, you know, don't let him beat you. You know, Diana, she won't minute. She's a fierce competitor. I mean, when she gets on, when she's doing a CrossFit workout, and like she
Mhm.
is going to beat everyone around her, whether they have legs or not. Like
Oh,
she's going to just, she's a fierce competitor. And she never lets anybody beat her. Like no, nobody is going to
good.
ever hurt that girl. Like, you
Ah,
know, I mean, you know, it's just not going to happen, you know? And
love it.
so it's just that attitude. And I don't know where you guys get it, but wish I could bottle it and just give it to people, you know, like
Yes,
a
I
little,
know.
you can say, little drink, you know, like, hey, here's a little drink of Mary and Diana,
I
you know, and just,
know.
you know, and all of a sudden, you know,
Yes.
so
Listen,
yeah,
I do believe it's forged in the fire, right?
yeah,
It's just
Yeah.
under
got to get in
pressure.
the
And
fire.
it is those difficult times in life that we have to go through. We have to face them and it gives us an opportunity to see who we are. So
Hmm.
I embrace those challenges as an opportunity.
I love that.
And yeah,
And so many
sometimes we win
people,
and sometimes we don't,
and
but
so
you
many
just keep
people
going.
try to stay away from those hard times.
That's
They're
right.
trying so desperately to not have pain. You know, they're
Yes.
so hard to get away from pain. Like, "Oh, I don't want this discomfort,
Yeah.
you know, and I just, you know, and you guys realize that's what made you who you are, which is both inspiration. You guys are both very inspirational because of that,
Yeah.
you know. So it's kind of like you always say, Dinah says, embrace the suck. You know,
I
she's like,
love
you know what I
that.
mean? Like, this is
Yes.
part, it sucks,
Yeah.
but this is what we're doing. So let's embrace it. Let's take it on, you know?
And it's not changing, at least in
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
next few minutes or the next couple of days. So you just got
Yeah.
to make the best of
Best of
it
it. Yeah,
and stay with
exactly.
Yeah.
friends
That
and
is
stay with
Yeah.
exactly
friends.
yeah, that's been my perspective, because it's like for so long, I feel like I looked at failure as like the worst thing, but it's like, no, I see it now
Yeah.
as a lesson. It's literally preparing me and teaching me for the next
Right.
thing that's coming my way. So
Right.
if I can just see it in that way and understand that, okay, maybe need to switch something or tweak something, or hey, just embrace it in a different way next time. But I like to do, like you say, see the best in things and just trust that, hey, it's all going to work out one way or another. Because I'm so grateful for those times where like I almost gave up on my life
That's
and
right.
didn't, because it's like I would miss out on this. I would miss out on having the husband and the house and the kids and everything that I've always dreamed of having unfolding in my life right now. Like things that I once thought was impossible is possible now. And so it's like, don't ever give up. Just don't ever give up. Keep going, keep
Hmm.
believing, keep shining. Things have a way of working out. You don't see it always, but that's like you say, that's where the resilience, the determination, and asking for help comes from, because that's going to get you through those hard times. Because I can't imagine what your journey from just healing, I can't even imagine or even want you to even have to live that again. But just knowing that that right there was probably one of the hardest challenges in the world, is like really getting your life back and taking that time of going through that process. You know, I was listening to Woody and Wilcox the other day, and he was talking about a 9-year-old who went through this accident and had all these major surgeries. And it's such a struggle for this 9-year-old because, you know, 9-year-olds want to run around and do things. And to actually be in a place where you, it's like your mind is saying, I want to move my arm or I want to do things is so easy and we should be able to do. And he can't. That's a huge struggle. I mean, it really
Hmm.
is. And I just made me take a moment of like, wow, like that's so true. Like to go from that place of just being, you know, moving about, doing things, we take that for granted, just even breathing, the little things. And it's like, no, we have to embrace every bit of it. When you're here, you have a purpose, there's a reason, and you can make a difference. And if you choose so, you can do anything. So I just, you know, I love to encourage people through that in this journey. And like I said, podcasting, I didn't go out looking for it. It found me and I just embraced it. And I'm so excited because here I am, like getting
Yeah.
to meet people all around the
Awesome.
world and give them a space to do just this. And I just believe in it. And I know it's gonna grow more and more, and I'm gonna make a difference from it. And I'm just honored to that God chose me to do this. So, you know,
Absolutely.
I'm really grateful to you guys and anyone listening. I really encourage you to go check them out and look into this as moms with our kids. Like, this is such a great opportunity to make an impact
Hmm.
for ourselves and to prepare ourselves. So, you know, I definitely will check you guys out when I come to Texas for sure, because I've been wanting a
So,
reason to come there with my husband. So,
Yeah.
this is giving me definitely food for thought. I love this so much. And tell us
Yeah.
a little bit too. You mentioned where is the best place where people can find you guys if they want to learn more?
So the easiest thing is to hit our website. It's
Mhm.
elicourse.com. So it's just like the word course. So it's Eli, the Emergency Leadership Institute course.com. And you can kind of page through our pages there and you can contact us and they have emails and stuff like that. So that's probably the easiest way to kind of check us out.
Yeah.
And but you know, you said something
Mhm.
that I just wanted to ask you a question because we were just talking about, you said, you know, when you talk about, you know, these trials are a lesson. You know, I think the real gift that I see in Diana, and I don't know if you have this, Mary, maybe it's because of what you've been through, you have it, but the real gift to me is the people who actually, when they're like, I see in my life trials and I look back and I go, okay, that really taught me something. That helped me get stronger, you know. But when I'm in the middle of the trial, it
Mhm.
just sucks, you know, it just or like, what, you know, why me or whatever, you know. But I asked Diana once, did you ever say why me? Like, you know, you wake up in the hospital, you don't have a leg, you got a trach in, can't talk, you're on the vent, like what happened, you know? And she said, no, I never asked the question like why did this happen to me, like, you know, never even thought of it, you know. And I think it's because of her past. But you know, the people who can take it while they're in the middle of trial, well, I mean they're actually in the trial, and just like say, hey, this is a lesson, I mean that's rare. And
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean, that's what you really want to do, but it's so difficult to do, you know.
Yes.
Sorry to regress on that, but
Oh,
I
I
just
love
wanted
it.
to.
No, you're right. I mean, and this is where compassion comes in. Like, we have to give ourselves grace. Like, we're humans.
Hmm.
We're not going to have good days all the time. Things are not always going to go our
Yeah.
way. And that is okay. I mean, it's hard. And there's nothing wrong with even acknowledging that. Like, yeah, this sucks. Or, yes, this feels awful. But okay, fine. Sit with that. Feel it, but release it.
Yeah.
And then find
Yeah.
ways to empower yourself to get your butt back up and be like, okay, what's next? How do I keep moving
Yeah.
forward? How do I keep going? Because I'm going to be hell bent to create the life that I want and know that it is possible. That is the power that we all have inside of us. So few of us, and unfortunately,
are willing to put the effort into releasing, following, and embracing that. And that is what my goal is. That's my mission, is to help as
Hmm.
many as I can to embrace that and create the lives that they deserve, that's waiting for them. You know?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And I want to open the floor too. Is there any final piece of advice that you would love to leave listeners with today?
So I think for
Diana,
me, yeah. What were you going to say, Craig?
I want you to, I want you to, I want to hear what you say. Go talk, Diana. That's what I
Yeah.
want you to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, just to kind of wrap everything up, it is our choice. And just be kind to yourself. You're going to have moments, like you said, Mary, it's not fun. And I've really only had a couple bad days. And my sister and family and friends were trying to encourage me, but you're doing so great. You're doing so great. And I'm like, listen, I went through a lot. I can be sad. Like, allow me to be sad. I'm not going to stay here, but I got to process it. I can't just shove it on down because that doesn't do any good. So, just it is your choice. Every day, do the best that you can do and just keep going and don't give up.
Love it. How about you, Craig? You got anything you want to leave listeners with today?
Man, I really can't expound on anything other than what she said.
Yeah.
She's like the heart and soul of this company. So, I just want to say that, yeah, just will you ever get a chance to meet Diana Jordan?
Yes.
You guys need to meet her, okay? Because
Yes.
it will change your life. That's all I got to say. All right.
Oh, love it. Thank you guys so much for coming on here and sharing your truth and just being amazing and doing what you're doing. Like I'm so thrilled that you're working towards this goal, and I cannot wait to watch as you guys flourish, because I know it's going to be big. It's already amazing. So again, thank you so much for being part of my show.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, Mary. We appreciate it.
Before we wrap up, here are the powerful reminders from today's episode that I want you to carry with you. Resilience is built, not born, and every single one of us has the power to rise stronger after hardship. Preparedness is empowerment. Being equipped for emergencies gives you confidence and peace of mind, not fear. Your choices shape your survival. Even in crisis, the smallest decisions can change the outcome. Your story is not over. What feels like the end may be the moment your strength, identity, and purpose begin to unfold. You are capable of more than you know. Diana's journey proves that the human spirit is unstoppable with belief, support, and determination. You don't have to face anything alone. Community support and guidance create resilience that lasts. If you want to learn more about Craig, Diana, and their incredible work, just click the link in the show notes and check them out today. Mama, thank you so much for being here. I hope this conversation wrapped you in courage, hope, and the reminder that you are stronger than your circumstances and that your life can rise higher than your hardest moments. And if you've been carrying a lot emotionally, mentally, or physically, if you've been surviving more than thriving, if you know it's time to reclaim your energy, your peace, and your life, I want to invite you into a free Limitless Mom Strategy call. This call is your chance to exhale, to be heard, held, supported, and guided. Together, we'll explore what's weighing you down, what you truly want, and how you can get there with clarity, compassion, and powerful mindset work. Whether or not we end up working together, you will walk away different, lighter, clearer, more empowered. You don't have to carry so much alone anymore. You deserve support, you deserve rest, you deserve transformation. The link to book your free call is in the show notes. Thank you again for tuning in, Mama. Until next time, keep standing strong, keep choosing you, and keep rising into the woman you were always meant to be. Much love.